Yo, what's up? My name is Andrew, and I'm an aspiring EDM music producer and musician. And we are freaking back with video number 2 for the Unperfectionist project. If you don't know what the Unperfectionist project is about, and you're interested in learning more about it, I'll leave a link in the description below so that way you can see video number 1, where I kind of share what's the purpose of the project, why I'm doing it, and all that great stuff. So click the link below if you want to learn more. But anyway, let's freaking hop right into the video. We're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of what people may think. And I say may because how do you even know that they're thinking that way towards you? Can you somehow like read their mind or something like that? Do you somehow feel exactly what they feel when you're not even the same person, right? Unless like they freaking blatantly told you that they feel that way towards you, or you somehow share the same freaking mind as them, then you'll know. But otherwise, how do you even freaking know? You don't. And many times the reason why you think someone is thinking bad about you or negative about you is because you feel that way yourself. Otherwise, you just wouldn't really care too much about what other people may think of you. Because if you felt great about yourself, number one, if someone made fun of you, made fun of the way that you looked or something like that, was hating on what you're doing, you, again, wouldn't really care because you're just thinking like, wow, I guess that's what that person thinks, and that's really cool because everyone has their own preferences and stuff like that, but I don't really think that's true because you know who you are. But on the other hand, if you do feel like that's true, or you kind of like, oh, that guy's right and stuff like that, then obviously it is true to you because that's how you truly feel about yourself. And then number 2 is that you wouldn't even have those negative thoughts in the first place, because if you have purpose, if you trust yourself, if you know where you're going, if you have an awesome, great future ahead of you, those things wouldn't even freaking appear in your mind. And look, man, if you're like living this awesome life or really feel that you genuinely have a great life, people can feel that around you. It's kind of like if someone is really shy or really nervous around you or something, like you can tell because, you know, you can just feel that. And people will act accordingly to the way that you feel about yourself. And to give you the greatest example of this is I used to be the freaking biggest people pleaser, yes man, you name it. I had no sense of personal boundaries, no sense of self. It was just so easy for me to get bullied and pushed over. I mean, people could feel that, and I was pretty much bullied and pushed over by most of the people around me besides my close friends for almost all my life. It wasn't really starting to change until about like 2 or 3 years ago. Things started to change. And about a year ago, like everything just got really solidified with understanding myself and having this like core foundation of self-esteem, where my interactions with people have completely changed to where they used to be. So number 1 is realizing that people are just way too freaking busy to be paying attention to what you're doing or who you are as a person. Because if they really paid that much attention to us, I mean, like, dude, we'd be fucking famous by now. And I mean, that would be freaking great if people really paid attention to us that much. But the reality is that everyone is just so freaking busy with their own insecurities. They got their own everyday problems, financial problems, family issues, relationship problems, so many freaking things they got going on. So, you know, with all these factors that are going on within their lives, there's just no more room to be paying attention to what you're doing or who you are as a person. And now you might be thinking like, well, you know what, this makes a lot of sense. But I still can't help but feel this way. Which then brings us to point number 2, which is realizing that when someone doesn't like you for who you are as a person, it has more to do with how that person feels about you more than anything else about who you actually are as a person. So let's just say, for example, you are a person working on his or herself, you're doing your thing, you're being the best version of yourself. I mean, like, dude, I mean, what is there to hate? If someone is just working on his or herself to become a better person, like, how can you hate that person? You know what? It's also really cool too if you have people that dislike you, because everyone has their own preferences. We all have different tastes in music, different interests and stuff like that, different hobbies, different passions. We are all our own freaking individuals with our own emotions, thoughts, preferences. That it's cool if somebody doesn't like you. Like, so what? Who cares? It's not the end of the world if somebody doesn't like you, because there's so many other friends that you can meet. And also, if this is a crush that doesn't like you, well, there's so many other people that you can meet on this world. We are a growing population, and I think Right now, there's 7.8 billion people in this world, so divide that by 2, assuming 50% are male and 50% are female, that's how many people that you can potentially meet. So understand that if someone doesn't like you for who you are as a person, it's all good. Because number one, it could be more about how that person feels, which again, does not have anything to do with who you are as a person. And then number two, it's all good because there's probably gonna be some people that you don't like too. So then number three is more like an example. It's kind of dealing with more of, let's say you do have a hater. Let's say someone really dislikes you for who you are as a person. And if you don't have any haters, that's not really a good thing, because that means you've been staying in your comfort zone, you're not putting yourself out there, you're not reaching success at a certain level at some degree, because if no one's seeing you, most likely you have no haters. But if you're getting big, if you're putting yourself out there, then for sure there's got to be somebody who doesn't like you. And number three is more about how to kind of understand why they would hate you in that certain manner, especially when you're just working on it yourself. So the thing is about this is that it kind of relates to number two, because when someone hates on you, especially if you're just doing your thing, it shows so much of more of that, how that person thinks of his or herself. Because if they're busy crushing it, if they are busy doing their own thing, freaking working on themselves and stuff like that, they wouldn't even have the freaking time to be hating on what you're doing. But because they have so much time on their hands, every little thing that you do, they'll probably be able to see, because they're not freaking working on themselves. And a lot of times, the reason why someone's gonna hate on you at this level is because they've quit on themselves. They have their own insecurities going on, probably their own self-esteem issues and stuff like that, which has, again, nothing to do with who you are as a person. And if that person feels that way about his or herself, how come you should feel that way, right? That doesn't really connect too well, And this is not to say, by the way, that this person is a bad person in any way. This is just kind of understanding, the places that you both come from, and it's definitely cool. They have their own story that they came from, and it's about coming from this place of really understanding each other and really understanding why that person is doing so, and then also realizing, like, wait a second, this person is just talking about his or herself. So if they are just talking about his or herself, why should I be affected? Once you start really understanding who you are as a person, and what I mean is your intrinsic value traits, not like how much money you have or status or anything like that, but who you truly are as a person. These traits can be authenticity, having ethics, values, purpose, and all that great stuff. And you have a sense of self-worth, you have personal boundaries, you have purpose, and you've established a core, solid foundation of self-esteem by putting yourself through numerous situations where you felt that you were breaking outside of your comfort zone. You tend to care a lot less about what other people may think of you. And once you get to this place, those thoughts don't really come to your mind anymore, because you are just so comfortable with yourself. Even with your little imperfections, you understand that we obviously live in a very imperfect world, if you will, and it's okay to be imperfect. And it's more about being perfectly okay with your imperfect self. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope that I was able to help you out in some way, so that way you can let go of the fear of what other people may think. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you really enjoy this type of content. Hit the freaking bell notification so you know when my next video goes live. And also follow me on all my social media. I'll leave the links down below. And lastly, it is my dream to become a multimedia giant, known for his music, which is EDM music if you didn't know yet, and also for the people that I've been able to help make a difference in their lives. And to make this dream come true, I need your help. Patreon is a great way to help support this dream come true. On the Patreon page, there's some tiers that you can support. There's a BTS tier, for example, Ask Me Anything once we get enough Patreon. And I'm also offering my one-on-one coaching as one of the tiers on the Patreon. This is literally hands down the freaking best deal that you can get out of all of them, because you'll be receiving a freaking $1,000 freaking program, which is coming down the line once I finish it. It's basically a program on how you can build your self-esteem so that way you can pursue your dreams with ease and achieve them with ease. And you can also ask one question in text written form, and I'll give you a freaking in-depth answer in text form as well to help you with whatever question that you have relating to the channel, of course. And again, yes, you'll be receiving the one-on-one coaching call for 20 minutes with me, where you can literally ask any questions relating to self-development and such like that. So go to my Patreon page right now, because it's not going to be that price forever. Right now it's $300, and eventually once I start really focusing on creating more content for all my social media channels, I'm bumping it up to 90%. So take advantage of it while you still can. And thank you so much again for watching this video. Feel free to leave me a comment, ask me a question. I'd love to freaking hear from you. Thank you so much again. Much love and peace out.